Today's video is going over my 2024 housing market predictions. Now this video is focusing on Spokane County, like the city of Spokane, Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake, and the surrounding areas. But I'd say probably 6 out of these 8 predictions are relative to the entire country and the markets that you may be moving to Spokane from as well. Now I'm gonna try and be very specific about these predictions, give you firm examples and break each one down so they're not just random and have some sustenance to back them up. So welcome back to the channel. My name's Haydn Halsted, your real estate resource here in Spokane, Washington. And if you find this video helpful or you learn anything new today, make sure to just give the subscribe button a gentle tap and hit the like button as well while you're down there. And thank you so much for being here. And as 2023 is coming to an end and 2024 is beginning, I just want to say thank you to all of those that have been watching these videos week after week. I actually got a Facebook reminder from a post I made 2 years ago about how I was getting serious about YouTube and starting to make videos. And that first year I was not great and I wasn't very consistent, but this is our very first year of consistent uploading and it has been amazing. Over this last year, I was able to help over a dozen people directly from this YouTube channel move to Spokane, and I met dozens and dozens more. So I think in 2024, we're going to easily double that number. So all I can say is thank you to those of you that have reached out and had conversations with me. And if you're thinking about getting into the market or even getting out of the Spokane market and moving from this area in 2024, I have 2 guides for you down below in the description, my buyer's guide and my seller's guide. There's links down below. You can download those at your leisure and they'll get you started on your journey in 2024. Those are absolutely free. And if you need more in-depth information than what those have, you can also use the link down below to schedule a meeting on my calendar. And I know there's at least 19 of you out there that need some real estate help based off of my last poll I did on the community section of this channel. So I'm very excited to help many more of you in 2024. So just before we get into these predictions, I just want to say this is just for a little bit of fun. This is not financial advice. Do not make your real estate predictions or moves or decisions based off of what I say here. Do your own research, or do take my advice, but you have to literally sign a contract saying that I'm your realtor and that I am allowed to give you that advice at that point. Plus, I don't know absolutely everything. If I did, or I could actually predict the real estate market, I would not be making these YouTube videos right now. I would be on the beach drinking a Mai Tai because I would have made all my money already. All right, so I've got 8 predictions, and the first one is that the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates 3 times in 2024. Now, this prediction doesn't come from a gut feeling. It comes from reading and watching many economists and economic forecasters that get paid a lot more money than I do. There's rumors out there that there could be up to 6 rate cuts, but I think it's going to be closer to 3. There are banks like the investment bank UBS that thinks there could be interest rate cuts of 2.75% in 2024, which would be absolutely insane. I think that's highly unlikely, and I think it's going to be somewhere between 50 and 75 basis points. But I do think the time has come that interest rates must drop, that inflation has kind of hit its high, and that the inflation rate is going to come down. Not that prices are going to come down, just the rate at which prices increase is going to come down. But like I said, I want to get specific, so I'm going to talk about when I think these cuts are going to happen. So I think it's likely that the Fed holds on to everything for the first half of the year. They've just now announced this, that they think inflation has hit its peak and they're willing to stop raising interest rates and consider lowering them. So I think we have quite a bit of time before those rate drops actually happen. So I think we have a first and second quarter with no rate drops at all so that they can gauge if inflation is truly under control and if they can start dropping the interest rate. Unemployment's still not where they would want it to be. They want more people to lose their jobs. The economy slows down even more. And so I just don't think that they're in any rush to make it easier to get money in our economy right now. So there's Fed meetings planned for the middle of June and the end of July. And I think we'll see federal rate cuts during these 2 meetings in the middle of the housing market. While things are hot, they will allow more money into the economy, let things kind of roll, see how it goes in the hot economic times, and then it'll be quiet until the very end of the year. They'll do one more rate cut in the middle of December. I think their meeting date is like December 11th, and that's when they're going to just put in another one so that they look good, but it's when the economy is the slowest, housing is not really happening, and so they'll just kind of throw in another third little interest rate drop when it doesn't really affect anything major. So overall, I think they're gonna stay patient in the first half of the year, kind of test the waters in the summer, see how it goes, and if everything goes well, they'll give us a little bit more relief heading into 2025 when I really think we'll see interest rates continue to go down. Prediction number 2 is that sales volume in the Spokane MLS will, without a doubt, have more transactions in in 2024 than it did in 2023. Now, this prediction is kind of just my biggest layup prediction in the entire video, but it is without a doubt that there are going to be more sales because we've had the lowest number of sales in the Spokane MLS and across the country in the last 20 plus years. Sales volume was so low because there was so much uncertainty in the market. Interest rates were super high, making things extremely unaffordable. And there was a ton of inventory sitting on the market, making sellers fearful that they couldn't put their house on the market because nobody else's houses were selling during that time. And then for the first time in a long time, Spokane made it all the way up to a 3-month supply of inventory, which still technically means it's a seller's market, but it gives buyers a little bit more power, a little bit more negotiation power. But that brought us back to really what the real estate market was in like 2016 through 2018, or as people would refer to as like the pre-pandemic real estate market. So really what we're experiencing now, even though some people at the beginning of the year were claiming it was a real estate market crash, really we just returned to what the real estate market was like pre-pandemic, just the prices were twice as much. So the Spokane MLS will see about 6,200 home sales in 2023 when all is said and done. And I believe in 2024, we'll be back to about 7,500 home sales, which would bring us back to what we saw in about 2021 and back into the 2017 through 2019 range. Prediction number 3 is that I believe home prices in the Spokane area are going to increase by about 4% in 2024. This is exactly how it's going to happen. We're gonna have a slow first few months of activity, just kind of as we always do in the beginning of the year, but especially as people are still kind of just figuring out the real estate market right now. Activity will slowly start to pick up, but the prices will not change, and buyers will still have quite a bit of a leg up in the current market. But then as the talk of the Fed's first rate drop comes about in the news and on this channel, there's gonna be a lot more confidence in the market going into the spring market in anticipation of those Federal Reserve rate drops. So I think the market April through June, even if a Fed rate drop hasn't even happened, is going to be very strong. And as soon as one of those first rate drops happens, I think there's gonna be a big push in the market. It's going to cause pressure on pricing to increase over the summer quite a bit. I think the upper end of the market, the $1 million plus, or even like $800,000 plus, is going to stay relatively flat, even maybe see a price decrease, as a large majority of buyers in that market are going to continue to purchase cash, at least the most affluent people, because they feel like they can get a better deal putting their cash there versus getting an expensive interest rate. But homes in the sub 300s are going to continue to rise, really kind of compressing the housing market. This has kind of been happening for a long time, where there's less and less affordable homes, and the price of middle housing is going to become much more concentrated. The difference between a $300,000 house and a $400,000 house isn't going to be that drastic, but then there's going to be big changes between a $600,000 house and a $700,000 house. Prediction number 4 is that the fixed interest rate is going to be at 6.5% for the entire year. Just looking at the predictions of the year where the 10-year treasury sits and what most economists are predicting, we're going to end the year at about 6.5%. And the cool thing is that we're actually almost there. We're there right now. We're at about 6.61% at the time of recording this video. And so there may be times in this year where prices dip down below that. But like I said, there's probably going to be a first half of the year where interest rates are just right where they're at for now, and then we'll see a dip, and so it's going to average out to be about 6.5% for the entire year. Something to keep an eye out for, though, is that lenders are going to try a lot of different tactics this year to get your business, whether it's pushing you to refinance if you bought in the last year, or giving out products that look really nice up front, but maybe they have a lot of fine print that they're not disclosing explicitly that you really need to review. So make sure you're working with trusted professionals that can review all the documents for you and make sure it's legit. Just some things that look too good to be true but there are some actual amazing offerings out there right now, and I'd love to introduce you to some of those as well. Prediction number 5 is not something that I feel amazing about, but I don't think affordability is going to get any better in 2024. And the reason why is that I just don't think we're ever going to be able to build the amount of houses that we need for the amount of population that we're going to get over the next few years. So referring to a Spokesman review article written by D. Patrick Jones, a local economic analyst, he believes by the year 2040 that The Spokane metro area is going to have just about 1 million people in it, which currently has 800,000 people. And this includes Spokane County, Stevens County on the Washington side, Pend Oreille, and Kootenai County on the Idaho side. And like I said, there's currently 800,000 people in this area. And so that would be over the next 15 years, about 13,000 people moving to the area per year. Now we're already about 25,000 housing units short in the Eastern Washington side. I think the number is somewhere about 50,000 housing units short in the entire metro area. And so if we can't even get to that number, then I don't think any solution is really going to fix these problems. There's a lot of these middle housing acts going out there to build duplexes and fourplexes and more ADUs and things like that. But the people moving to the Spokane area don't want to live in a duplex or a fourplex. They want a house with a backyard and a view. And so I think causing these middle housing renter friendly initiatives are good, but I don't think they're going to solve our problem of people looking to come to Spokane and live a life here. Prediction number 6 is that real estate investors are going to come back into the market. Real estate investors completely disappeared in 2023. They couldn't cash flow. The market was unpredictable and house flippers were losing money left and right. And the best they could do was wholesale, meaning go to a distressed seller, offer them 50% of what their home was worth, and then sell it to somebody else for a profit on top of that, which is a viable business and people do great at it. But there's a lot of competition in that area now because that was the only thing that real estate investors were feeling confident doing this year. I watched many house flippers this year just not be able to withstand the pressure that this market caused on them. They were used to their houses selling within a week, and now some of them are taking 60 to 90 days to sell, hoping that the first deal doesn't fall through and that they're actually on the market for quite a few months after that, all the while paying 10 to 12% on their hard money loans. Those payments start to add up and starts to eat away at your profit margin very quickly when you're paying $2,000 to $3,000 a month in interest-only payments. The only investors I really saw out there were people putting 50% down. Maybe they were doing a 1031 exchange, selling multiple properties and putting it into a new construction duplex that cost $800,000 that the average first-time investor just wasn't gonna buy. And I'm really not trying to make these predictions off of a gut feeling. This is kind of off of the conversations I'm having with my own clients. There's a lot of people on the sidelines that are jonesing to get into real estate. They want to buy another property. They already have properties. They really want another one. And I've advised a lot of people this year to just put their money in a high yield savings account, put it in the stock market. It's just a better return this year than real estate. But these people believe so strongly in real estate that for the long term, they believe in just having the physical asset that they're going to find a way in 2024 to purchase a real estate investment and invest their money that way. So if you are an investor, this is a great time of year to find a great opportunity and a great property. Many homes are going to expire here January 1st. I don't know when this video is coming out, but probably a little bit after that. So a lot of homes that were sitting on the market for a long time have just recently expired. The sellers didn't sell even though they wanted to. And so this is a great opportunity. If you were keeping your eye on a property on Zillow for a long time and you notice that it's off the market, let's reach out to that seller, see what price they're willing to take, and see if there's an opportunity there for you to put a deal together. And additionally, many investors are just out of the market completely or don't have the money to do it. Especially the ones that were doing all the mailing, texting, cold calling. And so this can be a great opportunity for you to start investing some money in your own marketing to find off-market properties, start getting out there and making your own offers just while there's less fish in the sea. This could be an opportunity for you to get out there with less competition amongst other real estate investors. Prediction number 7 is in new construction. I do not believe that new construction prices are going to go down, but they're going to remain relatively flat. Builders are going to do everything in their power to keep prices as high as possible because the cost to build is already so expensive. Like, their profit margins on these new constructions are so slim, and some of the builders I know are losing tens of thousands of dollars on every build. So Spokane is their loss leader for all of their builds across the country, and they're just kind of banking on that growth in our market that they're going to start making money over the long term. Plus, these companies, these massive ones, make their money by owning the mortgage company, insurance company, and title company that you use to purchase the property, so they make up for it on the back end. But this year, new construction saw a much bigger price drop than the resale market. New construction dropped about 6% in price while the resale market dropped 2% overall. And so what I think they will continue to do is offer really heavy incentives. They've been offering anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000 in closing costs, upgrades, or interest rate buy downs. And I think that's going to continue into the new year. My biggest hope for new construction is that we just start seeing some more attractive communities. I just feel like they're buying plots of land that just are not in the neighborhoods that people want to buy a $450,000 house in. That's just not comparative to 2 blocks away. And so it's just, that's the hardest sell. And I think why some of them are sitting on the market the longest is because the plots of land they are on are just not the most appealing for somebody to live in. And prediction number 8 is that this YouTube channel will hit 2,000 subscribers in 2024. And yes, this is absolutely a shameless plug, but we're just approaching 900 subscribers at the time of this recording, and nearly 800 of those came from this past year alone. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, which 83% of you are not at this point, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. If you found this video helpful, shoot me a like, share it with somebody that you know that's moving to the area, and make sure to leave your predictions for the real estate market down below in the comments, because it would be great to hear what you guys think as well. Happy New Year. Let's make 2024 amazing. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.